Okay, I just got home from my musical rehearsal, and I'm ready to talk a lot. I took like the tiniest little hit of my cart. I don't know where it went. I have no clue where I just put it. Oh, here it is. I took the I wish I had my jewelry, like my bracelets, but I took the tiniest hit of my cart. But I still have like mostly a train of thought. Because it was like super tiny, yeah, like I said. But I was thinking about how like I was sober for like aside from just nights where I would go to parties, but I feel like that doesn't really count. But I was sober for like months off of weed, and I know like weed isn't really something that like not that important, because it is important to be sober, but it's not like a bad thing that's gonna like kill you and that a lot of people like worry about. They're like, oh yeah, like common sense, you just need to like stop smoking weed, like just sober up. And then people are like, oh, it's so hard, and you don't really think much of it. And you're like, oh yeah, like I agree, it's good for you to sober up, but it's clogged. I can't ghost. I can, but like, I don't know. They're like, I can't get this at a good. Maybe this is a better position. Sorry. I hope this is fun to just put on in the background or something and like listen to, because it's gonna be a lot of random like shit where I don't know what's happening either, and I'm the one making the video. This is what I got the other day. Anyway, I didn't want to showcase my haul from Goodwill bins. I wanted to talk about a little bit deeper stuff. But basically, yeah, I haven't done weed for like months, and then like 2 weeks ago, 1.5 weeks ago, I got a muha from my friend. And I was like, yeah, like obviously, like you trust yourself. You're like, oh yeah, like I'll be fine. Once you actually get the thing, you trust yourself and you have faith. You're like, oh, it was so easy to stay sober so long without it. But now that I had it, like it's run out so fast. It's like literally, look at it. Oh, there's like a fourth left in there. And, or like a little more than that, but like a third, maybe. Comment what you think down below. What ratio, what fraction of oil is left in here. Anyway, yeah, so I got this and nothing came out of that. And I was like, it'll be so easy to like control myself, because that's what everybody thinks. They're like, oh yeah, like obviously it was easy when you didn't have it because you didn't have a choice, and now you're like, oh, I'll have it, that's just like a plus. And also you think with psychology that works too, because like oh yeah, like knowing that you could do it at any time kind of stops you from wanting or feeling like you need to do it, or like you're wasting a moment or something, because like you'll always have it in the future. But no, I literally get high at school almost every single day. If there's a certain period that I need to lock in for, I will either just like, if it's in the morning, I just won't smoke until after it. And then if it's in the afternoon, I will literally still smoke in the morning, but just sober up for it. That's what I did today. I had a presentation in like a stupid random class. Like I'm a senior, so like all of my classes are basically like stupid at this point. Except for one, except for AP Lit. But you know, my stupid random like class, I had to present something, and I still smoked before in school, but just like in the morning. And yeah, I also let a lot of girlies hit it in the bathroom, you know, those girls who you kind of like don't like, or like people. I feel bad for those girls, not because of who they are, but because of the reputation they get. You know, the girls that just like smoke in the bathroom or vape in the bathroom. Some of them, it's like, oh yeah, you get the vibe like, oh yeah, like they don't have a future or something. But like some of them don't, but like a lot of people don't. Like it's like, I don't know, like, you know, like getting to know people. You don't want to judge people like in the first place, but getting to know people, it's like you don't like think anything bad about them, and you love them, and you don't want to say anything bad about them either. But that's what I was going to say about that, letting people hit it. That's why it's also so empty. But I feel like I don't really know how to, like, quit this. Like, I have a bad weed addiction. And I know, like, it should be easy to stop, but it's so hard to stop. It helps me fall asleep, and it helps me just, like, I have really bad anxiety, and that's self-diagnosed with, which, it's like, oh, I'm sorry for self-diagnosing, but it's like, when it's something like anxiety, it's kind of obvious, like, especially after watching Inside Out 2, you know it. You're like, oh yeah, like, I definitely fucking have anxiety, but it's not even just after watching that was a joke, it's not even after watching that, but it's just, like, in general, like, I like, freak out. I don't actually have anxiety attacks, but all the time, it's like, I want to just cry, all the time, because I'm stressing about something that I don't even, like, because all of my thoughts feel like a cloud already. So it's like, oh, I'm stressing about this thing. I don't know why. I will literally do it. But, like, just knowing that I have to remember to do it and stuff. Even if I write it down in my reminders app, like, it's still something that's stressful. I don't know. But I was thinking, like, oh, what if... I was like, oh, like, when I came home and just took the tiniest little hit off of this, I was just, like, literally, it was like... That was it. I was like, oh, but actual smoke came out. It was more like, it was like that or something. And I was like, maybe I should just do this every single day, you know? Like, I won't be so high where it's like I can still lock in and stuff. And, like, I can still make conversation. It's not like my conversation skills are lost like it is when I'm, like, crazy high. But, like, I'm in a better mood and, like, it's not, like, I'm not even hungrier either. It's just like, oh, I'm in a better mood and, like, I don't know, I'm, like, a little more relaxed, I guess. But then, like, oh, because I'm still a senior in high school, so it's like, oh, like, drug testing. And even if you aren't this age, it's, like, a certain thing you are involved in could do random drug testing. And it's like, oh, do you really want to take that risk? But the thing is, like, is that worth the risk? Like, living happily and living a life where it's like, because I'm unmedicated, by the way. I don't have, like, medications for any, like, illnesses, even though I definitely have a lot. Not trying to be edgy with that. I say a lot of stuff that, like, sounds like it's trying to be edgy, but it's, like, not. It's just, like, there's literally no other way I can think of to say things. Because, like, sometimes you have to just, like, respect the fact that things you say are gonna sound cringe, but, like, the reason why people have heard these things said before and why they're made to, like, sound cringe in the first place is because, like, sometimes you just can't get away with things not sounding cringe. Like, the only, like, ways things sound cringe is, like, when you're sad and, like, nobody else is, like, empathizing with you and they want your sadness to be aesthetic but not, like, pick me. Because, like, or, like, I don't know. But I don't think, like, I can hear, like, a vibration downstairs and it's really bothering me. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because I'm going on vacation next month. In about a month, a little more, like a month and a day. And I'm going to Aruba, and I really want to, you know, have weed in Aruba, but I don't think this is going to last. It's only been 2 weeks since I got it, and it's more than half full. I mean, it's more than half empty. So, like, am I going to have to get my friend to get another one? I feel really bad. Because the thing is, it's not like I want to be high out of my mind in Aruba, but that would be so relaxing. Because also, like, I'm gonna be in Aruba, like, what else is there to do? Like, it's for relaxing, especially, oh my god, imagine, like, tanning in the day and you're high and you could just, like, feel oh my god, that would be amazing. But I'm not gonna have this, and I feel bad. Oh, I remembered another thing I wanted to talk about is how I literally I was, like, reflecting on myself, and I was like, I probably might come off as, like, desperate for, like, trying to find, like, love or, like, a girlfriend or something, but I'm not desperate. Because I know I've learned my lessons with past relationships. Like, I definitely want to know someone, like, well before I date them. And, yeah, like, I want to know someone well before I date them. Like, I'm not just going to rush into something when I, like, barely know the person. And I know that sounds like common sense, and you're like, oh, like, obviously anyone would do that. But a lot of people don't. It's really common to do that when you don't know a person very well. And I know I'm not going to do that again, but I was like, oh, my train of thought's working too well. Better take a hit. Sorry, I looked scary in that. Oh, what was I going to say? Now it's not. But I was like, oh, yeah, like, I know I'm not doing that. But also, like, to other people, I talk about, like, always wanting a girlfriend. And I know that a big part of that is because I literally don't have anyone I feel connected to right now in my life. Well, like, that's kind of a different thing. Like, I don't feel connected to anyone in my life at all. Like, and even if it is in a way, it's like it lacks in other ways. It's like the pros and cons of every single person. It's like different strengths, different weaknesses. Because with my mom, I can go up to her, like, because, like, I feel really depressed and, like, isolated and stuff lately. And it's like, oh, I would need a hug. I would need to talk to a person. Like, my comfort is, like, physical touch. I love physical touch. Like, so my one friend who's a guy, he understands what I'm going through, and he would understand, like, my state of mind and, like, my struggle. But he hates physical touch, and I feel bad because, like, that's kind of, like, what I need. So I want to go to him. My best girlfriend, she doesn't mind physical touch, but also I don't want her to think I'm, like, a lesbian freak and who has a crush on her. But she wouldn't understand what I'm going through at all, so, and she would just honestly, like, she would just want to get me, and she would kind of act bored too. So she, like, I can't really vent to her because I know she would not understand me at all. And then my mom is someone who it's like, oh, you don't really have to explain it to them, like, because they live with you anyway. It's, like, free, like, get out of jail card. Like, you don't have to explain anything. Like, you could just go up and hug your mom. But the thing is, I have an awful relationship with my mom. Like, even though I could go, like, hug her at night and stuff, why did I specify that? Even though I could hug her at any time, and I don't have to explain why, that's, like, a pro. It's like, oh, I don't have to explain what I'm feeling. I don't know if I said that already. Like, I don't have a good relationship with her. Not that she hates me, but I just wouldn't feel anything. It wouldn't do anything, and I would just feel uncomfortable hugging her. She's, like, the one person I would feel super uncomfortable hugging. Not the one person I would feel super uncomfortable hugging, but the one person who is in my roster of, like, people I could possibly ever hug. Like, some people are just off the table. A lot of people are just off the table. But in the, oh, like, if I could hug anyone, and she usually wouldn't be on that list at all, but, like, she technically is, in this case, in consideration of, like, oh, if I'm at the lowest point in my life, who am I getting out now? Then I have another girlfriend who's, like, she's not my best friend, but she's, like, the same. Like, she wouldn't really get it. And I'm not really close with a lot of other people at all. So, I don't know who to ask or who to go to. I'm not gonna get into what I'm dealing with, like, my depression or more of my anxiety or my OCD, God forbid. Wait, I just said I'm self-diagnosed, or, like, not actually. Why is my head, like, the only thing? I dropped my phone. I'm still posting this. I don't fucking care. I just feel, okay, I just felt really awkward because it was, like, only my head, and I still kind of don't know where to put this. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is so much better. I should have had it like this the whole time. Okay, but basically, what the hell was I saying? Oh, yeah. I'm talking about my depression, anxiety, OCD, as if I'm diagnosed with this shit. And I know people watching are gonna be like, you just said you were diagnosed. What is this hoe saying? I know I said I was not diagnosed, and I know, but sometimes, a girl has to, like, make do with her circumstances. So, because, like, I'm not 18 yet, and I could call and get myself therapy and get myself diagnosed, but that's a lot of money, and that's a lot of money I don't have to spend, and that's also, my family's, like, not that rich either, so, like, that's a lot of money I'd have to stress about her spending if I got therapy or, like, you know, prescription. And, my friend just sent me a notification of her in a store, and they had all the Red Bull flavors. And I love pink Red Bull. I had pink Red Bull one time, and it is my favorite flavor ever. My top 3 Red Bull flavors, from least good to most good: sugar-free, normal, pink, or pink normal. Sugar-free is good because it's, like, low calorie, but it also has sucralose, which is, like, cancer-causing sugar. But I don't really want to live long, so, like, I don't really care. That's another thing. If I fall in love with somebody, then I will actually have a will to live. Oh, yeah, I was talking about how I didn't want to get into my depression and stuff. Oh, and what I was saying about that was, like, I know I'm not diagnosed, but, like, some of the stuff, and this would be embarrassing if I didn't actually have it, but some of the stuff, like, is genuinely so obvious to be like, oh, I'm not sure if I have it. Because, like, when it gets to a point, it's like, oh, like, you kind of have to be, like, sure you have something. Like, not sure, like, oh, I could just tell people, but, like, when it gets to a point, like, sometimes it's like, damn, like, I probably definitely have this, and then you kind of think about it in your mind so much where you just kind of internalize, oh, yeah, like, you've kind of accepted the fact that you have this condition, even though it wasn't actually diagnosed by a real doctor. But depression's kind of, like, if you've had it for a while and it's severe, well, I've literally been, like, suicidal before, and it's been on and off. I'm not gonna tell you what I am now, even though it might be pretty obvious, but, like, when you're suicidal, like, it's kind of obvious you're depressed. But even just in general, it's like, yeah. And then anxiety is, like, obviously, it's like I'm stressed all the time about irrational stuff I shouldn't even be, like, anxious about. And then OCD is, like, that was one where I didn't want to admit that I had when I was little. My mom tried to show me this video when I was little of, like, this girl who used to go to my school, and then she actually came back, so she's in my school right now. But she used to go to my elementary school, and then she, like, moved to, like, Texas or Utah or something for a couple years, and then came back, like, in high school or something. But after, when I was in, like, 5th grade, after she was, like, my mom showed me a video of her, she was like, hi, I have OCD, and she, like, does have problems now still, like, it was legit, she did have OCD. She was like, hi, I have OCD, and my mom was like, I think you might have this, and I was like, no, even though I literally fit, like, all the examples she was saying too, which isn't an indicator that somebody has something, but it's still, like, oh, like, haha, you probably have this. But I was like, no, I don't, and I didn't want to admit it at all, because OCD was just, like, a stupid random thing. I was like, I didn't want it, but I do have it, and a lot of people joke, they're like, oh, haha, like, I have the weird part of OCD, not the cleaning part. I swear to God, the cleaning part is, like, a minority of OCD. I never hear about people having the cleaning part of OCD. I have the part of OCD where it's, like, it kind of, I don't know if it took me a while to figure out I had it, but basically, I don't do this anymore, thank God, because this shit was annoying. But when I was, like, a freshman and sophomore, I mean, like, I still obviously never want to get pregnant, and it is still a big fear. I mean, like, it's not, like, a fear, like, because I'm a lesbian, but, like, it's still, like, if I got pregnant, that would be, like, the worst nightmare coming true, basically. And, what was I gonna say about this? Oh, yeah, like, it has always been a fear. Obviously, I don't do what I'm about to say anymore, but when I was, like, a freshman and sophomore, like, if I was laying in my bed at night, I would always, like, suck in my stomach and, like, flex my ab muscles, like, to get, like, weird feelings of discomfort, just, like, butterfly feeling discomfort, like, stupid, like, it's caused by your mindset feelings of, like, uncomfortableness and, like, disgust out of my stomach, and be like repeat affirmations in my head and be like, I'm not pregnant, like, I am not pregnant, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was so weird. That was, I have so many other shit. I have so much other shit that's, like, OCD. But, that was, like, the first thing that I was like, oh, wow, like, what is that? What do I have now that's, like, OCD? I know there's stuff. It'll be, like, I mean, like, I don't go on TikTok, like, a lot anymore. And I'll, like, glance at it a couple times. But I don't go into, like, comment sections a lot like I used to, like, when I had unlimited free time in middle school. But, like, a while ago, this just ended recently. Thank God I don't have this anymore. But a while ago, if I was, like, on a certain video or something on TikTok, or, like, was scrolling comments, sorry, this video is really long, or was scrolling comments or blah, 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 like, I would, if I saw that the person was commenting about their age or birth year and it was younger than mine, I would, like, actually force myself to find a video or another comment that was the same year as mine, because I was like, oh no, like, the universe is gonna associate me, or, like, make my soul match with the younger people with this younger year. And, like, I'm not immature, I'm not younger, I don't want to be, like, I don't want my development to be set back. Like, that's how a person with OCD thinks. It's very, very superstitious in my case. And I'm not superstitious. I don't believe in a lot of those things that, like, is superstition. Like, I made a video that I think is still up, but, like, I privated for a second, but I think I still have it up. It's like, I don't believe in karma. Like, I don't believe in, like, superstitious things either, like walking under a ladder causing bad luck, or, like, a black cat causing bad luck, or, like, anything. Or I actually broke a mirror this morning. Breaking a mirror causing bad luck. But I don't know, like, it makes me feel better, because I feel like if my mind's focusing on something that I'm irrationally scared of, like, being and I don't want to be, or, like, a metaphor for something in real life or something, I don't know, like, a literary device. Like, if there's something that I'm like, oh wow, like, there could be meaning taken from this, like, at a writing standpoint, like, you know, like, oh, like, the last thing I looked at on TikTok, like, the example I was talking about was a video of a person who was saying that they're younger than the year I was born. Like, I don't want to, like, to be secretly grouped in with that or something. Like, I don't know. It's just my mind will focus on it, and just knowing, even, like, not, like, just knowing that I ended on that, I'll be thinking about that and being like, that's, like, not right. Like, it's so weird. Anyway, I kind of want to drink water and go to sleep now.